Over the past few weeks, we've talked about letting pleasure arrive. We've talked about receiving it, right? We've talked about releasing the idea that joy needs permission. Tonight, we're exploring something just a little bit different because sometimes pleasure is already nearby. It waits on the sidelines patiently. It circles the edges of our lives. Yet we never quite let it in, do we? Not because we don't want it, but because we're accustomed to keeping certain doors closed. The door to rest, the door to play, the door to romance, the door to being cared for, the door to feeling desired. How about the door to simply enjoy ourselves, right? Tonight isn't about kicking those doors open. Tonight is about turning the handle and seeing what happens. Welcome, 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 everybody, to Love Notes Live. Glad to see you all here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Hello, Alex. Love to see you here, my friend. It is great that you're joining me live tonight. Now, remember, I am looking for romance authors. I want to start interviewing them live here on TikTok. So if you write romance, even if you're self published, okay, if you write romance of any kind, whether it be contemporary, Christian, Regency, historical, firefighters, military, police, hockey, football, baseball, the list is very long. And of course, erotica, which happens to be my favorite. But if you write any type of romance, please get a hold of me at Allie Thies, ALLIE, T as in Tom, HEISS at yahoo.com, please. And let's talk because I would absolutely love to have you on the show so we can talk about your book and promote your book. And yeah, good times, noodle salad. So thank you for being here. Now I'm going to start with the opening poem. And it looks like TikTok is having some issues here this evening. It tells me I have nobody online, but I know I do. I know I do. Hello, people. So I'm not quite sure what TikTok is doing. Go figure. So the opening poem this evening is by yours truly, so I hope you enjoy it. Perhaps pleasure never disappeared. Perhaps it stood quietly on the other side of the room, patient, unhurried, watching us busy ourselves with obligations, expectations, and our endless lists. Perhaps joy has never demanded grand gestures, only a willingness to look up, to notice, to soften, to say, I think I'm ready now. And perhaps that is enough. Gives you a little bit of food for thought. I sure hope so. Um, I don't know if you can hear the fireworks going off in the background, but as soon as my 11 cats and one dog figure it out, um, I could have some mayhem going on here. And yes, I really did say mayhem because that's what happens when, when all this is going on for sure. But we are up to the first dedication of the night, and this is for moments that feel suspended in time. A warm evening, a slow dance in the kitchen, a familiar fragrance, a conversation that stretches longer than expected. Pleasure often enters quietly, not announcing itself, not insisting, simply offering itself anyone willing to notice. Yes, and we're going to play one of my favorite songs back from the 80s. or is it 70s? Year of the Cat by Al Stewart. That was the Year of the Cat. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard that song. And in case you're just joining me, hello, hello. If you're here on TikTok for Love Notes or if you're listening to the podcast version, welcome, welcome. It's fantastic to have you here. Please don't forget that I am looking for romance authors. If you write romance of any kind, please drop me an email at Alliethies, Allie, T as in Tom, Heiss, like Sam, at yahoo.com. And yeah, let's get these interviews going. It doesn't matter if you've been traditionally published, if you're self-published, if you're a hybrid. I want to interview you on this show for Love Notes. Romance authors, where are you? It's a $34 billion genre. Somebody's got to be around. So get a hold of me. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now let's go to tonight's desire drop, shall we? So tonight's question is, what door have you kept closed because opening it feels unfamiliar? What do you think? Is it maybe a door about receiving compliments? Could it be, I don't know, receiving gifts like flowers? Maybe wearing something beautiful just because you enjoy it. Not because it's a special occasion. You're wearing it just because. Hmm? What if it's reading romance novels again? Could it be? Could it be? Love me a good romance. Maybe this door is allowing yourself to flirt. Yes, very good, Alex. Receiving care. Isn't that so difficult to do? Oh my goodness gracious. We're always go, 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 helping everybody else, and then we forget about us, right? Oh, so I'm so happy you're opening that door and going through it. Hmm? Could your door be maybe admitting that you still want passion in your life? You are never too old to invite passion in. All right? Never. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're in your 90s. Never, ever are you too old for passion. All right? But that door, okay, that door you've kept closed. If you were saying it out loud as I was going through some things, there's no wrong answer here. I mean, we all have doors that we keep closed. We all do. We're human beings. And this is what we do. We close the door so we don't get hurt. All right. So there are no wrong answers, just an invitation for you to sit down and think about it. Because I don't think about it. I don't go about my day and go, what doors do I have closed? Um, I honestly have closed so many over the years that I don't even know what's not closed anymore. Let's see, accepting compliments, door closed, flowers, door closed. Oh, I do wear something beautiful just because I like it. That one's open. I am reading romance novels. That one is open. Allowing myself to flirt every chance I get. So that one is open too. And I haven't admitted that I still want passion, but I really do. I love passion. I love passion. I love romance. I love desire. I love all of it. I'm admitting it out loud to you guys. Something else I don't normally do. So that brings us to our second dedication of the evening, right? Now, this one is for the connections that feel really easy, right, Alex? The people who remind us that pleasure is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's companionship, sometimes it's laughter, other times it's feeling completely at home in someone's presence. Not every beautiful experience needs intensity. No. Some simply ask us to stay present long enough to enjoy them. And for this, we're going to play Whenever I Call You Friend by Kenny Loggins and Stevie Nicks. Yes, Whenever I Call You Friend. Kenny Loggins and Stevie Nicks. Good song, bringing back memories for sure. How you guys doing? For those of you who are joining me live here on TikTok, I was jamming out too. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here for Love Notes. If you're listening on the podcast version, thank you for being here. If you ever want to join me live instead of listening to the podcast version, come on down 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday nights. And when I start interviewing authors, I'm probably going to increase the time I am here on TikTok. But right now, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Fridays. Come on down. Join me. Let's listen. Let's talk. It's fun. Yes, I'm so glad you made it as well. Even if you're at work, I greatly appreciate you showing up when you're at your job. But I'm glad you're able to do it. Yay! So let's talk about the first recommendation of the evening. This is a good romance book, and it's called Summer Sisters by good old Judy Blume. If you're Gen X, you know who Judy Blume is. Wonderful one. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I really wish Judy would write a book about menopause because Margaret is now in menopause. So I'd love for her to write another book. But Summer Sisters, okay? This novel, it explores friendship, desire, identity, and the ways we grow into ourselves over time. At its heart is a reminder that pleasure can be found in experiences, memories, discovery, and becoming more fully who we are. There is something wonderfully freeing about remembering that joy belongs to every season of life. Now, the film recommendation, A Room with a View. Now, personally, I like the Alfred Hitchcock version, the original. And you wouldn't think A Room with a View and Alfred Hitchcock would be romance, but it really is a story about choosing aliveness over expectation. If you watch the movie, it's about listening to your own heart rather than accepting the script somebody else wrote for you. Pleasure often asks us to do exactly that, to cut out performing. Oh, and for the love of God, stop postponing. To step toward what genuinely, there we go, genuinely moves us. Too many times we put things off. We can't do that. None of us is promised a tomorrow. Do today what you want, okay? Because you never know if tomorrow will ever arrive. Something to think about, all right? As you maybe kiss one of your loved ones this weekend or this week, um, always let them know how much you care, okay? Which all of a sudden brings us to dedication number 3 already. And this dedication is for the person who has spent years taking care of everybody else. The one who became the reliable, the one who became the practical, the person who forgot that receiving care can feel just as meaningful as giving it. You deserve tenderness too. You deserve ease. You deserve moments that exist solely because they make your heart lighter. And this song is Baby Come to Me by Patti Austin and James Ingram. absolutely love that song. And one of the lines, spending every dime to keep you on the line. That's back when we had payphones and long distance was it was expensive. You had one carrier for local, like Ohio Bell, one carrier for local, and then you'd have another carrier for long distance. And long distance was astronomically expensive. If you were making a long distance call, you better have been saving up your allowance in order to do so. Um, and then payphones. I miss payphones. I'm not gonna lie. Um, if we needed picked up someplace, we would call collect and they say, say your name. You'd say, Mom, we're ready to get picked up. And then she'd deny the collect call, but she knew we were ready. Piece of cake. Didn't cost anybody a dime. We got picked up, usually at Belton Village Mall in North Kent, which surprisingly is still around. It just does surprise me because so many malls have fallen to the wayside. I really think they should turn malls into Gen X retirement homes. Um, I mean, because we've got the food court, we've got the movie theater, we've got the mall to do our walking, our daily walks, and then you could turn the stores into apartments. Makes sense to me. Just a thought. Now, I no longer do the soulful connections part, so no more meditation. What I what I've put in its place, however, is between the pages, where we open a book to discover what love has been trying to say. Now, whoops, tonight I am reading from The World's Greatest Love Letters. There you go. The World's Greatest Love Letters, compiled by Michael Kelahan. All right. And this evening's letter was written by George Farquhar, Farquhar, to a Penelope Oldfield around the year 1700. And George was a playwright, an Irish playwright, and he excelled in restoration comedy. All right. Now you're going to have to excuse me as I'm reading this because it is in Old English. I don't know what half the words mean, but it does sound romantic nonetheless. All right. So bear with me a bit. All right. Madam, if I haven't begun thrice to write, and as often thrown away my pen, may I never take it up again. My head and my heart have been at cuffs about you these these 2 long hours. Says my head, you're a coxcomb, for you're troubling your noddle, about a lady whose beauty is as much above your pretensions as your merit is below her love. Then answers my heart, good, Mr. Head, you're a blockhead. I know Mr. F's merit better than you. As for your part, I know you to be as whimsical as the devil, and changing with every new notion that offers. But for my share, I am fixed, and can stick to my opinion of a lady's merit forever. And if the fair she can secure an interest in me, Monsieur Head, you may go whistle. Come, come, answered my head. You, Mr. Hart, are always leading the gentleman into some inconvenience or another. Was it not you that first enticed him to talk to this lady? Your damned confounded warmth made him like this lady, and your busy impertinence has made him write to her. Your leaping and skipping disturbs his sleep by night and his good humor by day. In short, sir, I will hear no more of it. I am head, and will be obeyed. You lie, sir, replied my heart, being very angry. I am head in matters of love, And if you don't give your consent, you shall be forced, for I am sure that in this case all the members will be on my side. What say you, gentlemen hands? Oh, say the hands, we would not forego the tickling pleasure of touching a delicious white soft skin for the world. Well, what do you say, Mr. Tongue? Zounds, says the linguist, there is more ecstasy in speaking three soft words of Mr. Hart's suggesting than whole orinations of Signor Heads. So I am for the lady, and here's honest neighbor lips will stick to it. By the sweet power of kisses that we will, replied the lips, and presently some other worthy members standing up for the heart. They laid violent hands, nemni, I don't know what this says, concentrate, on poor head, and knocked out his brains. So for now, madam, behold me perfect as perfect a lover as any in Christendom, my heart firmly dictating every word I say. The little rebel throws itself into your power, and if you don't support it in the cause it has taken up for your sake, think what will be the condition of the headless and the heartless. And then he signed it, his last name, Farquhar, Farquhar. My. His body was fighting against each other, the different pieces parts, about what he should do with that young lady, Penelope. I'm going to bet she got a kick out of that letter because I know if I would have gotten that letter and I'm thinking, oh, look at all those pieces parts fighting against one another, that would have been funny. I think so, anyways. So and in this letter, there's very little hesitation, isn't there? Very little restraint. He writes about somebody who is willing to risk sincerity, and perhaps that is what's opening the door to what pleasure really means. Not becoming fearless, becoming willing to enjoy, willing to appreciate, willing to say beautiful things while there is still time to say them. Pleasure often begins with attention, with noticing, with allowing ourselves to be touched by beauty rather than rushing past it. So tonight's question is, what beautiful thing have you noticed this week that you almost overlooked? I'm going to say I saw a nice butterfly. Beautiful little butterfly in my little garden. And I almost didn't see it, but my cat did something. I had Mr. Leroy Jethro Gibbs was outside with me, and Karma, the dog, and he did something, and I happened to look over in that direction, and then that's when I saw the butterfly. I would have missed it otherwise. Hmm, something very beautiful. And here with George and his letter, he didn't care if he sounded foolish, did he? Didn't care at all. He wanted to let this young lady know how much he adored her, how his heart just was taking that risk to love her. We're so guarded nowadays. Oh my God, are we going to say the right thing here? Should we do that there? What if someone what if somebody sees me do this? What if, oh, so many what ifs. If you love somebody, if there's love in your heart, send them a message. Just send them a message. It doesn't matter if they write back. It doesn't matter if you ever hear from them. It's the fact that you took what's in your heart and you sent it to them. All right? All right. Sometimes it's just good to get this off your chest. Now, this brings us to our last little dedication of the evening. And this final dedication is for the version of you that is becoming more available to joy. This new version learning that pleasure is not selfish. The version beginning to trust that life still has surprises waiting. The version quietly opening that door and discovering that something lovely had been standing there all along. Mm. And for this last song, we're gonna listen to "Steal Away" by Robbie Dupree. "Steal Away" by Robbie Dupree, backup vocals by Michael McDonald. Maybe you recognized him. I forgot he played backup vocals for this song, but there he was. Yes, love that song. I haven't heard that song in maybe 30, 40 years. Easy. Um, it's amazing how many memories these different songs are bringing back. A lot of them are, are me roller skating. Me and Todd Sullivan roller skating together. Yeah, that was a long, long, long time ago. But before we cash out this evening, I want to remind you again, romance authors are wanted. All right. I would love to have romance authors to interview live on TikTok for upcoming Love Notes episodes. If your books explore anything that deals with romance, longing, chemistry, emotional intimacy, second chances, healing, devotion, erotica, whole lot of saucy naughty stuff. I want to talk to you, okay? Even if you don't have a lot of saucy stuff in it, I would love to have you here on Love Notes. Just send me an email to alliethies@yahoo.com. Again, ALLIE, T as in Tom, HEISS like Sam, at yahoo.com. All right. And I cannot wait to introduce the Love Notes community to new authors. I want your romance books to get out there and lots of people read them. Yes, I do. Ah, all right, guys, believe it or not, we are at the end of our evening. And I know it's not a full hour. I can promise you that when it does come time to have authors on, that we will most certainly uh, be a full hour and then some. So I don't know if you notice, but pleasure doesn't usually force its way into our lives. It waits, it lingers, it hopes and prays that we're going to notice. Tonight, perhaps all that was needed is a small act of courage, a deep breath, a softer pace, a willingness to open the door. And again, I want to thank you for spending some of your Friday night here with me on Love Notes. Don't forget to tune into Love Notes Unscripted on Substack for more intimate reflections and explore connection tools and more at the Passion Zone on Etsy. Well, good night, beautiful hearts. I hope you have a wonderful evening, a good weekend, and we will catch you next Friday.